Hi! Do you know anyone who is going through a hard time right now and wonder how you could best support them? Well, if so, join the club, because I'm going to tell you right now, I know pretty much almost everyone I know is going through some form of hardship right now. So I was asking myself, what can I do to help these people? And tonight I was going to film a YouTube video, and I thought, I can't think of anything to talk about except for how could we help each other more right now, because in the air, I don't know if you can feel it too, in the air there is a lot of, I think, change happening for people, but unfortunately it's manifesting and taking the physical form of illness, of job loss, of pets being ill, of family members being ill, of stress at work, or any number of things. And so today I wanted to come to you and talk about three mistakes that I believe we make when we're trying to be helpful and we care, and 3 questions we could ask instead, plus a bonus, okay? So welcome to Awaken Your Instinct. I'm Lileithpolite. I'm a professional belly dancer, a belly dance teacher, and also a life coach. And I help women to find and freely express their truth with dignity and grace. And so through that coaching and coach training that I've been through, I've learned a lot about relationships and how we interact with each other and how we engage with each other in an effective way. Not just through my coach training, but through my schooling and through my marriage. There's a lot to be learned, when it comes to relationships. And so we'll get right into that. Quickly, I did want to touch on, I do teach online classes in the Body Soul app. I have a group in there called Belly Dance Life, and I do online classes in there for $25 a month, and we do a live weekly class and a monthly Zoom get together where we can see each other, and then we also every live class is recorded and uploaded to the platform, so you always have access to those classes. And we've got over 30 classes in the group right now. And so I have my information down in the description box below for all of that. And then if you're located anywhere near me, in the Northwest Arkansas area, you can find our classes in person. Let me know if you're here and I will give you the information. Finally, you can work with me as a coach. I do one-on-one coaching and I do group sessions, and all of that not all of the information, but I do have information on that on my website, or you can also just reach out to me and we can schedule a complimentary clarity call and see if I'm somebody that we think would be a good fit to work together, okay? All right. So, back to our scheduled program. Yes, today I was like, I had a topic in mind, and I will cover this topic at another date, but I just happened to notice that so many people that I know in my personal life and in my work life are going through a hard time, whether it's, like I said, illness or surgery or family issues or, like family breakups, or maybe their pets are ill or something along those lines. And I just thought, I can't think of anything more important to talk about today than how can we be of service to each other during this time, and how can I help? And so it made me ask that question to myself, and then ask that question for, what can I share with you guys? And so I came up with 3 mistakes that we make when we're trying to be kind, and 3 questions we could ask instead, plus a bonus. I thought about these because I thought about personal experience, and I thought about what I know about people and their receptivity. When we are down, we can only take in so much. So when people are down, that is the time to show kindness and compassion, not the time to show tough love. There's a time and a place for tough love and deep truth and honesty, but when people are sick, when they're going through a hard time, what they need is they need your shoulder. What they need is they need to know you love them and support them. And so that's where I kind of came up with these particular items, is based on what people really need in their situation. Okay, so let's imagine somebody's is going through a hard time. So I'm gonna say mistake number 1. What do we always want to do? Offer advice. Well, guess what? People going through a hard time are not in a position to take advice from you unless they ask for you to give them advice. The only time your advice is going to do anything good is if somebody is in a position to receive that. In my coaching training, we learned the first thing you do is you ask, can I give you some advice on that? Can I give you some feedback about this issue? And then the person almost always says yes. And as soon as they say yes, they're in the receptive mode to take in what you want to say. But until that has been established, your advice is going nowhere and it's doing more harm than good. Number 1. Number 2, well, let's say they're sick. Well, what'd you do to get sick? How did you get sick? Or, well, what happened with your marriage? Why are you breaking up? Or any number of things like that. Well, why is your work so crazy? Like, did you take too much time off or whatever it is? Like, why are, basically putting the blame on the person going through the hard time. Now, we know, I know that we are all accountable for our actions. We're responsible for our actions. And in almost every single situation, we can put our finger on something we did, not to deserve, but to make ourselves susceptible to the situation we're in. But when we're in it, when we're going through the physical turmoil, the physical sickness, or the emotional turmoil, all of that is not the time to troubleshoot. Okay? Think of a burning building. When a building is burning, what do? You put some water on it. You don't ask the building, what did you do to get here? What happened to cause the fire? How are you going to prevent this fire in the future? What was your role in causing this fire? No, we don't do that. We put out the fire first, and then after that is out and there's been some time, then we can talk about what happened. Okay? That's how it works. And that's how human nature is. Okay, mistake number 3 is to focus on yourself, okay? Yeah, and share like a war story or something that's similar. Like somebody shares with you that they're not feeling well, or they've been homesick for a week, or this, that, and the third, and you're like, yeah, my son was sick for 2 weeks, or yeah, I was home for 2 weeks and oh, it was so terrible. I almost went to the hospital. I had a fever of XYZ. To shift the focus on ourselves is taking away from your support for the other person. It's taking the empathy away. So if we want to help other people, they need empathy. That's like a huge helpful tactic to be compassionate and to support each other. So talking about yourself right off the bat is mistake number 3. okay? Now, we are going to get into, now I'm saying these mistakes in the context of the fact that we want to be helpful, we want to be compassionate. If we are thinking, how can I show up for this person? How can I offer my support? These would be 3 mistakes we don't want to make. I'm not trying to hammer on anyone in particular. We are all humans, we all make mistakes, and we all have done at least one of these 3 things, right? Am I right? Okay, so that being said, this is my perspective from my personal experience and education, okay? So let's talk about just 3 simple questions we can ask. First, well, how are you doing? You know, how are you feeling? How are things going? How are you doing? We're not talking about any blame. We're not talking about, we're caring about the person and how they're handling things. Number 2, how's your family handling everything? I know when people ask about my family, I'm like, wow, that's above and beyond, right? Like, if you're asking about me, that's pretty normal, something almost mindless and automatic. But when you include my family, whether you care or not, it sure makes me feel like you care about me as more than just an individual, you know? You care about me and my family. That just really goes above and beyond to me. And so I think that's really nice to ask other people how their family is doing, because obviously that's their life, right? That's their world. And things aren't right if your family's not right, you know? Okay, and finally, number 3, what can I do to help? And the reason I say it like this is there is this, it's just a human nature thing. I learned when I was going through my schooling and different certifications, I took this Train the Trainer course in college. It was grad school. And it was a professional development program, and you know, I was learning how to train people. And one of the things that I never forgot, and this was like 20 years ago, one of the things I never forgot was, after you do, like when you're doing a presentation and that kind of thing, and you want to see if the class has any questions, if the group has any questions, you don't ask, do you have any questions? That's a yes or no question. And that's a huge barrier for people to overcome, because naturally, who wants to be the one that says, I have a question? I mean, people are going to feel more responsive to the question, what questions do you have? So that lets everybody in the room know that it's cool to have questions. I assume you have questions. What questions do you have? And that is just an easier way to open the door for people to feel comfortable with asking what they really, really want to ask. And so that's why I say number 3, what can I do to help? Because you're assuming, you're letting the person know that you know they probably, they could use some help, and that you're perfectly willing, just need to be told what I can do to help. Like, what can I do to help? Not, can I do anything? Let me know if I can do anything. Now, again, I'm not trying to beat anyone down. I've said that a million times, but I'm letting you know what the language tells people. And people don't really think about it, but when you say, what can I do to help? That's an open door. When you say, let me know if I can do anything, or let me know if I can, or let me know if you need any help, there's almost like an extra door for the person to open to get to your receptivity. I don't know. You let me know in the comments if you see it similarly, like how the difference between how those 2 questions or statements feel. But that's been my experience, and it's what I learned a long time ago, and I have noticed it totally feels different when you say it differently. Okay, and finally, bonus. Okay, we're at 15 minutes now, and I always try to keep these under 10 minutes, but today it just went a little longer. Hopefully this is helpful for you regardless. If you find it helpful, if you like this content or any other content on my channel, I love if you would like the video, subscribe to my video. I do want to keep making these. I do want to grow my channel so that I can reach more people and do more things with this channel. And so your subscription and your like on this video and even your comment, hopefully it's a good one, a nice one. Even your comment is very helpful. So thank you for doing that. Okay, but finally the bonus is pray. Pray for the people who are hurting. Pray for the animals who are hurting. Pray every day. You don't have to tell somebody you're praying for them. You really don't even, I don't think you have to ask people, can I pray for you? Just pray for them. Come on, just pray for them every day until they've experienced their healing. And I know some of you don't believe that does anything. That's fine. Don't take the bonus then. Don't do it. I don't care. However, I believe it does something. So I figure, hey, may as well try. It's worth a try. What is it really hurting? Nothing, in my opinion. All right, so those are my 3 mistakes and when we're trying to be kind and compassionate, supportive people, and 3 questions we can ask instead to show up and be supportive and kind and compassionate, plus the 1 bonus. So thank you for joining the video. I'm glad that you did, and I hope that you find this helpful, and I hope that you found some ways that you could be supportive and show up for your friends and your family, your coworkers, your everybody, okay? Because, like I said, I feel like everybody's facing some big challenges, and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means we as a planet, we as a world and humanity, we are going through some big changes. I can't quite put my finger on what they are, but I think everybody can feel it. And it does cause some strife, and it does cause some challenges. And the best thing I think we can do is to be here for each other and to be our best selves that we can be. So that's where I'm coming from. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I'll be back next week, and have a great rest of your week.